it was a key for you guys. Read the question.
So riddle of the day is, I have many doors, but only open one at a time. I'm a place of learning where minds grow.
The place
What
of
am I?
learning. Who you are. Azizхан, who you are. You're Azizхан. I
But
know.
with a riddle, I'm something different.
Something different.
Yes.
Something different place, right? Great. So now we are having a Dilxush, and he is going to teach us something. And he's going to
Exactly.
give us the
Okay.
facts. Very interesting. Hi, Dilxush. How are you?
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Audience, how are you doing, guys?
Feeling awesome. How about you?
Great.
Give us the time for the rest.
Yes, I will. I hope you will engage into the topic that's really amazing that I prepared for today.
Okay.
Sure.
So, hello, dear audience who are watching me. Today I'm here with an amazing and modern topic which is called media. As you know, media is
It's a very big topic.
yeah, it's really big, but we will dive into the main points because as we have limited time. So we can start with media. So firstly, I should say, many people have the mistake. When we are saying the word media, we say media is. But actually, it's not media is, media are. Because the
Really?
media, yes. The media word comes from the word medium. The average or between two things. So this means something is affected by another thing and it's in the middle. It's between two things. That's why it's called media. Media is something, just definition, conveys anything, like message. So that's why it was taken from the word medium as a plural, in the plural form, media.
So not media is and media are, right?
Medium is or media are. So
Actually,
this
I've
was,
heard of it,
yeah, when I was heard this for the first time, I was shocked because I
It's-
used to write media is.
I'm hearing it first time.
Yeah,
Now I know why my writing is so bad.
so we will dive into this topic. I hope this will be really informative and interesting for the people. So firstly, we should count the media purposes. Why we use the media? I cannot name any of the purposes for the media, for the usage of daily usage.
Share information.
To share information, to inform people, to persuade through the commercials, or to entertain, maybe,
Yes,
because
exactly.
we used to go on the Instagram or we used to watch new reels every day. So these are the main purposes of the media. What about the like different types of media, like mass media? Mass media is like mass communication. That's, for example, we are watching the news or we are watching the reels which are taken from somewhere, yes? So mass communication refers to the definition that a message or the news is taken from the representative or from the individual or from a governmental group that can be shared to the public with censorship. So this means censorship board means the filtered news.
Can
Because-
you explain it in Uzbek a little?
Like filtered. I don't know how to analyze, how to translate into Uzbek.
Informatsiyani bermoq.
No, it's
Filtered.
filtered. Yeah, like bad words are converted into the good words in order to make it public speech. This is called censorship in media.
Censorship.
So this is really important side of media because when you don't have the censorship skills, you cannot represent the news.
Yeah.
Because when you are doing, especially there are two types of media news. The first one is narrowcasting and the second one is broadcasting.
Broadcasting.
So yeah,
First
when
one
you're
what?
narrowcasting. Narrowcasting, yes. When you're narrowcasting news, it's for targeted people. That means if it's Uzbekistan-related news, it can be watched through by the Uzbekistan population, not for globally. But when you are like broadcasting, it can be like BBC, New York Times, around the world news. So when you are using the broadcasting, you should definitely use censorship because without that, it can be like discrimination or violation or some kind of violation of human rights. When you are talking about something specific, that's why you should be really take care of what you are saying when you are in the broadcasting. I think this is quite broadcasting because many countries' population are also might be watching us because we are speaking in another language, That's why we should be really careful because it's
Broadcasting is for global.
Yes, because we are not speaking in Uzbek here. So this means the people from English-speaking countries can watch us, yes? That's how it makes the process, like broadcasting, narrowcasting.
Ah, got it. So
Yes.
the first one is more narrow.
Narrow.
And the second one is
Yes.
for whole populace.
Targeted and global.
So I have a question. If you are a host of broadcast, you are going to be a broadcaster?
Yes, because
And
I am in
broadcaster,
this.
it's kind of in Uzbek Korsa too, but globally, right?
In broadcasting, it's sharing the information, not only targeted people. It can be everyone from any country. It can be anyone, like children, adults, or young adults. But when you are narrowcasting, it can be for children only, like Bolajon, or it can be for older people, like Kino Theater, something like this. It can have its targeted people. So that's really makes it interesting, you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
because it's really important to know which you are using.
Yeah.
And the next thing is tabloid and broadsheet. Tabloid and broadsheet are the most important sides of the media. When you are using the tabloid, you can use. Have you ever seen a boring magazine or newspaper
Yes, I saw
with
it.
a lot of headlines
Yeah.
and just information?
Yeah.
This is called broadsheet. In broadsheet magazines or broadsheet like newspapers, you can see only the words, serious pictures
Yeah.
without any entertainment, or just business style commercials.
Commercials, you're right.
Yeah, they are used in a black way, black colored,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
interesting colors because
Yeah.
it's business style commercials. And they are used for broadsheets, like New York Times Magazine, BBC. They also have their broadsheet magazines through the world. So this is really interesting. And when you are using the tabloid, it should be interesting. Once you see the newspaper, it should attract you with its colorful pictures, background pictures. But in broadsheet, you don't have background behind the words. It's just serious, black or white backgrounded. So these are the two important like types of media, like broadsheet and tabloid. I hope everyone loves tabloid, yes, because
Yeah,
they are into
yeah.
pictures, colorful.
And colorful, yes.
And the headlines also will be really interesting and short. But in tabloid, but in broadsheet, the headlines will be really, really long. You know, it will make it boring for the people without any interesting letters also. So these are the types of the media. And what do you know about media literacy? Why is it so important?
Media literacy?
Yeah, media literacy.
Okay, just like you said, like when we have a global broadcasting, we're responsible for the content we share, right?
Yes.
And, first of all, we cannot lie, and second of all, we need to only give truthful, reliable information.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
also, just like you said, we need to know the right phrasing of the content. Because if you're going to say something wrong, you don't want to be, caught.
I think
Yes.
it's kind of the history. If you back to the history, it started like journalism or this
Yes.
media started kind of like from the 17th century, and on that 17th century, just people give information to other people by like writing to the rocks. First rocks,
And
second,
then lasers,
yes,
skins.
and then other things kind of, and then you know what? After some time, it changed, and the people like invited the paper,
Yes.
and the paper was, for example, today I had my paper, the very very white paper.
In addition,
and I
this
kinda,
is the version of codex. It
Oh,
was called
yeah.
codex, After parchment, it was codex.
codex, right?
The nowadays books are like codex.
So, for example, I really want to tell one very interesting fact about that giving information, like media. So, second part, it was kind of like, I think, 18th century. So, people used to get the paper, like not like that white paper, the paper. And, for example, I have a news today, like I gave a birth, for example. I gave a birth to children. And their names is like Lily and John. And I just wrote, and I gave that paper, I gave to my neighbor. And neighbor can read, oh, Sarvinoda just have newborn babies, like Lily and John. Wow, great. But today I learned how to cook like cake. And she can write
everything.
her like news and share to everybody, and the newspaper will be like prepared by the public, you know.
Yes.
And so it's news sharing.
Yeah, it's something similar to mailing, you know,
Yeah.
like having the mail.
But you know, when you are media literated, it's not about only you are like a journalist working or giving the news.
Yeah.
It's also hearing the news.
Yeah.
It's important to get the news, you know. For example, if you are media literated, you will not be affected by the fake news. It's about to separate between real news and fake news. For example, if you have the knowledge enough to separate them, then you are lucky, because you know nowadays there are bloggers and there are other representatives or individuals who are trying to share information, even they are wrong or true, because some of them don't have any reliable sources, or they don't refer to anyone who are saying these words. So this is really important for you to have the media literacy, because when you are watching or when you are reading the news, you might say, who is writing this? What is the reference? From where the source is coming and why it was created? Does I care? Or like this. This is really interesting for the people. And the next thing is convergence. Do you have any idea about media convergence?
Great. Well, so what about the safety?
Safety?
Yes.
It's about media literacy, because when you have enough knowledge, then it's safety for you to not to be affected, as I said. You might say who created the news, why it was created, from where it was taken, and what is the source for this. So, you know, one thing, there is a huge word in media field, like convergence. When it started being convergence, media convergence is something like, can you say anything about it? Do you have any idea
what
about
is convergence?
You tell me.
No. I just don't know the definition of that word in English.
But do you have any example?
Maybe I can answer.
Do you have any example? Convergence, I don't know in Uzbek.
What is convergence?
Well, I don't really know the Uzbek translation, honestly. And
explain me in English, okay?
I will refer.
Mechanical, you know, like let's just listen.
This is media convergence.
Wow.
This is. Why?
Ah.
It just communicates the media to you. It's like a medium between the media and you, maybe?
Yeah, you know, nowadays we are using our phone for every purpose we have. Taking photos, reading e-books, chatting with friends, going on to watch YouTube videos, watching even television on TV, you know? And this is called media convergence. In media convergence, one device can include about 50 sources in once. We are carrying a device, that means we are carrying everything with TV, e-books, newspapers, or the sharing information, chatting, phone, camera, even taking pictures, you know. This is really important. Media convergence is called the phone. Our phones are nowadays media convergence. And
media convergence.
Yeah, you know, media has three types, like mass media communication has three types. The first one is print media and broadcasting. And the next one is, what do you think about it? Broadcasting.
Yes. And I think third one is podcast.
Podcast. It's one. Print media, it's books, magazines, and social media.
Social media.
Yes, social media is really interesting. It's really modern nowadays, because we cannot imagine our life without, social media. Social media can give us entertainment, commercials, or at the same time news, you know. This is really important. So, what do you think? How many hours do you use your phone every day?
For me personally, I used to use it a lot, you know, like when I was especially learning a new language, let's say, maybe like Japanese or Korean, all I had my phone, right, to reach to whole internet and use it for learning it. But currently, since I mostly work with PCs and with my Mac, my phone usage definitely dropped. It's around an hour and a half or maximum 2 hours.
In a day?
Yes. In a day.
But you know, according to the statistics, every single person globally, every single person uses their time at least 4 hours, 30 minutes every day.
Wow.
It was calculated like this. 4 hours and 30 minutes every day out of 24 hours.
Let's take mine. I just want to check.
Please don't look. You're going to be sad because it's probably more.
It was calculated like this, but I know I use my phone about 10 hours a day because when I am in the job, I always use my mobile phone, you know. But it was an average calculation for the statistics. It was calculated like this. And, you know, year by year, the consumption of media through the social media is increasing, while the print media usage is decreasing, you know, because people are not into reading magazines or buying magazines.
Even e-books.
Yes, even e-books, because social media is giving everything, especially AI tools. You don't have to search for a specific information from the books or from the e-books. Just write it, give it to the AI, and it will give you the important part from the book.
Yes.
That's why the usage of books are really decreasing.
But it's like kind of positive too.
Yes, it has, you know, it's a really different topic to discuss. It takes time.
Exactly, it's a whole
It also
debate.
has disadvantages and advantages. So, as we are in the media, we shouldn't be out of topic.
Right.
Yes. So these were the information that I wanted to share. I hope that you learned about tabloid news, broadsheet, and broadcasting, narrowcasting, and at the same media literacy, how to separate fake news and real news. And you also were engaged. I hope you took some information from the session. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to ask, can you continue on your lesson, like?
Okay.
Because
I
we have 10 minutes.
In love of the
Okay, I will have
information.
time.
Yes,
Right?
we have like kind of 12 or 10 minutes for that.
Okay.
And you know what? I really want to say thank you to you, first of all, because you know what? I kind of study in Mass Communication University, journalism, but I didn't memorize or I don't know that facts. I know the information, but I kind of didn't write on my brain that.
You couldn't pick.
Yeah, it's very important to me.
Wow.
I really want to. When somebody asks something about my work, I really want to share this information. So I just want to ask, can you share your like presentation? Maybe that. So or you just have some specific like.
Yeah, I
studies?
have some more. If you want, I can continue because I have been studying as a minor. So the next thing I will mention is mass news, like global news,
mass media,
and local news.
Local news.
What is the difference between the? Can you name any differences?
I think mass news it's prepared by the journalists with facts, like. But local news it's like who are, they can be also a journalist or bloggers, but they listen from the public mouths. You know, for example. This person is married, and it can be fake, but like the person, like the blogger, can write it with the facts. But it's kind of public news. But mass news should be with the fact, with I can say like in truly way.
Yeah,
and
you are
it's kind of in serious.
Yeah, you are right. In mass news, you should be really careful what you are saying because you should have the reliable sources. But local news is like narrowcasting, you know.
Yes,
it's for targeted people. For example, if I say one student in specific any university died because of something, is it local or?
It's definitely local because not
because
all people can care about that student.
Yeah,
right?
only the university students care about this. Why he died? Because they are there. But do I care? No, because it's not important for me. That's why it's local news. Or if I say in Tashkent there is a problem with water, it's flooding on the street. The people ask, which region? Or which district? It's Yunusabat, Chalanzar. And then the people of that district will be involved in this problem while the others are not. Because it's not important for them. Why do they care? You know, that's called local news. But when it's mass news, I would say in Uzbekistan there's going to be new law about something, or new rule about cars. This will be really important for all the people, especially who are having cars, because it's mass news, you know. Or if we say in the world there's going to be a big event collecting all the presidents, it's really huge information, you know, and this can be mass news for all people. So these were the differences between mass news and
local news.
Yes, local news.
So we can like say like the news, the content, if it affects majority, like bigger audience, it should be like global and mass media. But if the content which affects only few number of people, maybe one family or just one small society in a small town, then it's a local news.
Yeah, that's the simple definition for
exactly,
this.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you know, there are specific words to write your narrowcasting and broadcasting.
Narrowcasting and broadcasting.
Yeah. As I said, narrowcasting is for targeted people, while the broadcasting is for everyone. For example, if I say, let's say I have a magazine, I have a shop for clothes, I am buying clothes, or I am purchasing clothes. So I would say, in my shop, you can find clothes for your mother. Is it narrowcasting or broadcasting?
Is it narrowcasting?
Why?
Because it's kind of because it's advertisement.
There is a keyword.
Only for women, let's say, or only for clothing and shopping.
For mothers.
Exactly.
Mother.
It's for mothers.
For girls, for women.
Yes, it's like narrowcasting. But if I say it, you can find any clothes for everyone in my shop.
It's
broadcasting.
Yes.
Because it's not for the specific or targeted people. It's for everyone. Like it's family clothes, or if I say you can find everything in my shop, it will be like every thing we use in our home, or it can be clothes. So this will be really broadcasting. So you know these are the differences.
Now
and you
I
can
know
translate.
the difference between.
Yeah, I hope you are learning something from my class. Yes.
I really like the class.
Yes.
That was really informative, and just for the reference, she's a good student.
Am I a good student?
Yes, because when you said like I study in media, but I don't remember anything, I was like, I hope she's kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm studying.
She doesn't know. She really doesn't know.
Okay, but we
Maybe
still
she
learned
forgot.
a lot, and so the thing is, like this kind of information is super interesting for everyone, right? And people can like decide on it, whether they want to like dedicate their lifestyle or career to this page. And I hope you actually gave some base idea of what media is.
Yes.
And I personally like actually learned something
But
today.
if I had many hours, I would dive.
No, we had a time.
No, it's a really huge topic. That's why I'm saying. No, I will continue. But if I had like 2 or 3 hours, I would dive into the media field to explain everything. You know, it's really interesting.
Why we know?
Because I'm studying in media as a minor, double major, international relations and media communications. Actually, I attended 4 classes, and that's the part of that information I gained, because I cannot remember all the information I learned. It's really huge. You know, there is one thing in media. It's called Osgood News and direct news. What do you think about them? Direct news and Osgood News. Osgood News, it's called Osgood.
Direct news is kind of, I think, the news that you us like directly.
Yes.
No, I mean, yeah, it's true. Like, the news is given by the people, like, all words is kind of like hard words, which written in direct news. For example, today, like, a Russian president came to Uzbekistan, for example. It's direct news. And another news is kinda, I think, I don't know. I really don't
Let's just
know.
stop guessing and maybe like listen to the professional here.
Yes,
Okay.
you know, in direct news, a news will be shared through the TV, especially through the radio, which cannot have its feedback from the people. You just listen, and you cannot share your opinion because you are watching through the TV or you are listening it through the radio, you know?
Okay.
This is called direct news. But in Osgood News, you can have a chance to share your information, feedback, why is it happening? You can have your ideas. Like YouTube News, you have a section for comments that you should say, it's happening, because you just share your opinion, and others also will read it, and it means everyone will be educated about it. And the people who are like giving the information also will have something from you. Again, it's like news goes, comes from the feedback, but indirect, it goes, doesn't come back. It's directly.
It doesn't come back.
It doesn't come back. But in Osgood News, you watch your news, you give your news, and you will receive feedback. Maybe you are wrong, and people are correcting them, or people are also giving because someone saw this.
Can you give some example?
For example, there was in current news there was some kind of transport accident.
Okay.
In Yakasara, I think, yes. And people said it was caused by person in the news, but in the video which people took, it was it wasn't mistake of any people. It was just by the cars. People are blaming the people, but it's not actually that. So they are receiving the feedback, and they should correct the information because the people are sending the videos.
And they have an opportunity to correct the information.
Yes,
right?
Because as a journalist, you didn't say that, but you are reporting, but you are wrong. Maybe let's say.
Yeah.
And I saw the accident, how it happened. I took the video, and I'm sharing the video with the people. That's how it happened. She's wrong, I'm saying.
Yes.
And you should say it like as a feedback, and you should correct the information. Maybe you should say with recent news, it was like this.
It's more reliable, right? Because a lot more people can actually engage. And just like Wikipedia, maybe
yes, Wikipedia
there are
is really
some examples, but usually people help each other, and that's why direct can be only non-interactive, while the second is more interactive.
Yeah, Osgood is really important. If we have one more thing, like free press, free press news, free press. Free press means clicking on a link without any tuition, without any fees, and just going through the news, watching it without any money. And in free press, you will not have any filtered news. It will be direct. What is said can be written without any filtrations. That's really the best source for you to learn. But as you know, in our country, most of the sites are not appropriate for the people. They might be limited. That's how you will not be able to go on to the free press because you are ordinary people. But those who are in a specific field to get news can go, and they can see actually how it was, the specific words or everything as it was. And then they take the information and they make it into the broadsheet to change. For example, if I say die, you will say pass away, passed away. Paraphrase it in a good way. Some of the words will be cut
just
because they cannot be shared.
Right?
Yes. It's called free press. Free press is really important for you as a journalist or as a watcher, if you have a chance to go on. So these were the sources where you can get the information, how you get the information.
Well, got it. Well, thank you. That was really awesome, and I personally enjoyed the lesson. I hope
audience also found it interesting and informative. In this next session, maybe if you want, we will continue with media field.
I want.
Okay, let's see you on next Friday.
Next episode also a media topic.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. We'll see you next Friday with media topic then.
Thank you.
Okay, have a lovely day. Thanks for coming.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So now we back